confuse these people. Yeah, I got plenty. Yeah, there's two here. I got one in my pocket. Hey, it's a holdover. It wasn't mine anyway.
So to get her to the lake, we've been having to put her side by side, right to the lake so she can get out the old gangways. But I mean, no, she been extremely well. Shut lock this door.
We got 1 minute. If everybody will get in their places, please. Thank you, Sheriff Pardon. We will start the meeting with the invocation by Reverend Marty Nutter. If you would please step to the lectern. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Let us pray. O Lord God, as we ask that you lead us and give us wisdom and discernment in every decision that we make this night. Where we are in error, reform us. Where we are in need, supply us. Where we are right, strengthen and confirm us. And where we are torn apart, heal our divisions. Through your Son, Jesus Christ, our Lord. Amen.
Thank you. We have Mr. Steve Simber is going to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Mr. Steve. He's the one that does, when you guys walk into the foyer and you see all of these photographs attached to the wall, that's the attacher. He's the one that's doing all of that work, and he's doing a great job. Okay, we're ready for roll call. Commissioner Reed, thank you. Did you announce 16 present? Okay, we're moving to the approval of the agenda. And if you guys would move down to number 8, if you have not, we're going to add a proclamation to Mrs. Martha Dykes, 100 years old, I believe she is, this past month. And we need to go down to 9A, notaries. If you would write this in beside the word notaries, without objection, notaries are approved by unanimous consent. Move all the way down to 10B, report of special committees and action thereon by the commission. The ad hoc pay and benefits committee does have recommendations to present to us. And I believe that's all the additions that I have. Does anybody make a motion to approve with my amendments, and anybody else want to amend? With no request to amend, we will now vote on the agenda approval.
Mr. Mayor, we have a motion to amend the agenda.
No,
No?
no, this is being crazy. No, no amendment. I don't know what's happening.
Can we back that up, Mrs. Clerk? A lot of these nights, I wish we'd just go back to raising our hand. We're waiting to vote on the agenda approval. There we go. Vote yes or no, please, to approve the agenda. It's not working.
It won't let us go with that. Can you mark him yes?
If we can move on, you're voting yes, Commissioner Seaborn?
Yes, now it went.
Okay. All right.
Oh, you got it.
I marked him.
You did, okay.
16 yes.
Okay, we have 16 yeses to approve the agenda. We're moving now to item 6, which is public comments. Do we have anybody that has signed up to make comment to this body? There being none, we move to item 7, review and approval of the minutes from the last meeting. Need a motion to approve the minutes. Please vote yes or no to approve the minutes.
16 yes votes.
Okay, the minutes have been approved with 16 yes votes. The next line item is resolutions of memorial, sympathy, proclamations, and commendations. We have two commissioners absent tonight. Commissioner Hodge, whose mother has passed away recently, and Commissioner Miller, who lost a son. And if we would, I would appreciate 10, 15 seconds of silence, please. Thank you. Our hearts, prayers, and thoughts are with those two individuals. The next proclamation is a proclamation to commemorate June the 10th, 2024 as Mrs. Martha Dykus Day. I'm going to read that. Whereas I, Dennis Hunt, along with the Coffee County Full Commission, do hereby recognize the 10th day of June 2024 as a milestone day for Mrs. Martha Dykus. Surrounded by beloved friends and family, Mrs. Dykus celebrated her 100th birthday. Whereas Mrs. Dykus, who was married to the late Jess Buster Dykus for 76 years, nurtured a family of 2 children, a son and a daughter. Gifts from Diane and Albert and their spouses include the many grandchildren and great-grandchildren in which they love and cherish. Whereas Mrs. Dykus is a former caregiver at Tuesday, Thursday preschool held at Main Street Church of Christ, it is also known that she took swimming lessons at the age of 80. Mrs. Martha attended Red Hill Church of Christ before moving to MacArthur Manor and has stated that God just wanted me to be here when asked about her longevity. Whereas Mrs. Dykus is a youthful lady who takes pride in the way she dresses, statements about her include the fact that she is a very kind lady who helps others feel special, and she always made herself available for others who need help. Now, therefore, be it resolved that I, Dennis Hunt, interim Coffee County Mayor, as well as the Coffee County Commissioners, do hereby proclaim June 10th as Mrs. Martha Dykus Day in Coffee County. We do have a motion with a second, so we could please vote on this. Yes for approve, no to disapprove.
Yes votes.
The proclamation was approved with 16 yes. Thank you very much for that. 9A.
The next item,
9B. I'm sorry.
the next item on the agenda is number 9B, the Audit Committee.
All right, well, I'm going to open the floor. This is, there are actually 2 boards and committees that the legislative body makes the appointments. The Audit Committee is not a mayoral appointment. It is an appointment by the legislative body. So the other one, FYI, is the Board of Zoning Appeals. So I will open the floor for nominations for the Audit Committee vacancy.
I'd like to nominate Linda L. Bean.
Okay, the name Linda Bean, who you do have a citizen participation form in your packet. And if you have any other name, are there any other names for nomination? Motion to cease nominations.
I'll make that motion.
Is there a second? Thank you for that.
Motion and second needs to be on the machine.
We are. Okay. we would combine the vote to stop, to end nominations and approve Ms. Bean. So we'll have one vote, which would cease nominations and appoint Ms. Bean to the audit committee.
That's fine, that'll be fine.
Thank you, sirs. All right, the motion is made. What I do want to do you guys have any questions for Ms. Bean? She is in the audience, and if anybody wants to ask her a question, she's very talented and qualified, certified public accountant who conducts audits. So if anybody wants to ask her a question, she's very willing to answer. There being none, I would like for us to please vote on her nomination and appointment. Vote yes to approve.
Yes votes.
Congratulations, Ms. Bean. There's 16 yes. You are now on the audit committee.
Agenda item number 10, new business, A, county school budget amendments.
I'm going to ask this body if there's not any objection. All 5 of these budget amendments have been approved by Budget and Finance. Our budget director, Mariana Edinger, will review these briefly with you guys, and if we could just vote on all 5 at once without objection. Is that all right? Okay. Commissioner Duncan, do you approve, are you okay with approving all 5 of these budget amendments, one fell swoop? Thank you, sir. Commissioner DeFord, you second it. Do you agree to that? Thank you. Mariana, will you please present these budget amendments?
First one is for the General Purpose School Fund. It's number 141-2024-11. Second one is 141-2024-12. Also for the General Purpose School Fund. Next one is 141-2024-13. This one is also for the General Purpose School Fund. The fourth one is 141-2024-14, also General Purpose School Fund. The fifth one is for the Cafeteria Fund, 143-2024-1. As stated, these were all approved by Budget and Finance on May 30th, 2024.
Does anybody have any questions for our budget director? If not, we're ready to vote on these amendments, please. Thank you for that. 16 yes votes. These amendments have been approved. When we approve the agenda without objection, notaries are approved by unanimous consent where the words added to that line item. So at the moment we approved the agenda, we approved all notaries. It's a whole lot easier that way.
Agenda item 10B, county budget amendments.
I'm going to treat this the same way. I would love to have, these have been approved by our Budget and Finance Committee. A motion by Commissioner Morris. Do you agree for all of these to be approved by this one vote? Commissioner Stubblefield, you're good with this too. Please, Mariana, go through these for us, please.
Okay, these were also approved at the May 30th meeting of Budget and Finance. First one is for the drug fund, 122, 2024-20. Second one, general fund, 101, 2024-21. Third one, general debt service fund, 151, 2024-22. Fourth one is the rural solid waste sanitation fund, 116, 2024-23. Next one is 118, 2024-24. This is for the ambulance fund. Next one is for the Highway Public Works Fund, number 131, 2024-25. And the last one is the General Fund, number 101, 2024-26.
Does anybody have any questions for our budget director? If not, we're ready to vote on these amendments. Please vote yes to approve, no to not approve. Looks like our monitors have gone out, but our voting screen on our pads, mine's working. Okay.
16 yes.
There's 16 yes, so these budget amendments have been approved.
The next agenda item is number 10, new business, down to first asterisk, report of standing committees and action thereon by the commission.
Budget and Finance, Chairman Seaborn.
Thank you, Mayor. So we're in the middle of budget process, of course, and our deadline is to get one done by the end of the month. We met last Thursday. Last Thursday's meeting, we started to go ahead and try to deal with some of the requests we've had. We kind of were holding them so we could deal with a lot of them at once. And the goal there is to not have our budget director have to generate a whole new set of budget sheets every 2 weeks and end up with a lot of confusion. So we did pass several of the requests we had heard in the previous month. I think we had an additional officer at the probation office, an additional officer in the animal control, and a couple of other small requests in that regard, and then we went through the entire list of nonprofits and those sort of things as well and approved those. We also entered into some discussion of what the total pay raise might look like for on a countywide basis. The default budget that the mayor had submitted has a 5% increase, and I just want to clarify for everyone, especially the employees, that 5% does not mean a 5% per employee. It means a 5% budget line increase for departments. And so there may be some differences employee to employee. We did have some discussion that there might be a desire to increase that to a larger value. And so this Thursday at 4 o'clock, because of multiple things going on, we'll be meeting again 4 o'clock this Thursday. And that'll be one of the items of discussion is kind of what that bottom line number is. Mariana's going to have some numbers prepared for us to compare 5 versus perhaps a 7 or some other numbers. So I encourage you to either watch that or come to that meeting. And in the next few weeks, we'll be finalizing that so we can have a final vote on the budget here in the full commission by the end of the month.
Thank you for that. Does anybody have any questions for Chairman Seaborn at this time? To have a certified budget approval by the Comptroller's Office, we do have to have it approved by the end of this month. This full legislative body will meet on June the 25th, and that will be the item that the night that I hope we're ready to have it. Thursday, day after tomorrow, is the one that everybody needs to be at, because that hopefully budget finance moves on. The next standing committee is legislative. Our chairman of legislative is Commissioner Hodge. Is there anybody on legislative that would has a report at all? If not, we go capital outlay. Commissioner Hirschman.
Capital outlay, let's start off with, animal shelter. We have, reviewed the drawings on the animal shelter and have approved them. And, they are going to be, they're sent back to the architect where he can start working up the bid documents to be able to put it out to bid. It's, we have a very good-looking facility that's been designed. I'm proud of it right now. The health department, we met with the health department people, with the state, and we're pretty well on board with what they're trying to do. We've shifted the health department building a certain amount to keep us out of some right-of-ways, so we didn't have to worry about special easements. That project is moving forward quite fast now. We're going to try to get the site work put out to bid before summer is ended. That way we are in the dry, have it gravel pad down, so that way we can do construction on into the end of the year. Besides that, our next meeting is going to be on July the 11th, and anybody would like to come, present anything, we'd be glad to have you.
Thank you for that, Commissioner Hirschman. The normal meeting time for capital outlay is always the first Thursday. Well, the first Thursday of July is actually July the 4th, so that's why it's been moved to July the 11th. Just FYI. Law enforcement, Chairman Missy D. Ford Green.
We have nothing new to report at this time.
Thank you. Policy and procedures. Chairman.
We do not have anything to report for this meeting. We have several things on the agenda for our next meeting, so which is coming up on the 7th.
Thank you.
Or 17th at 5 o'clock.
Thank you for that. HWR, Health, Welfare, and Recreation, Commissioner Hollingsworth.
Okay.
Chairman Hollingsworth, excuse me.
Our next meeting will be Thursday, June the 20th. We had a good meeting last month, so I'm going to yield to Secretary Smith for review of that.
Okay, our last meeting, we had a presentation by Mr. Neil Simmons about the rescue squad, the update on that. If I'm not mistaken, they're probably getting the exterior skin, so to speak, put on their building. They're refurbishing it, and they're pretty excited about what's going on there and how they were able to save that building. The other, that was our only presentation from fire department or rescue squad. The other thing that we're probably going to be hearing about is from regarding recreation for the county. We have a citizen, Elena Murray. She's been inquiring and asking Dave Kapka to see if, and we've been following her, and Dave both on maybe securing some grants for the county recreation. There's a lack of fields, a lack of facilities for all of the county youth to practice all the sports. So that'll be coming forward, and that's about all I have. Our next meeting, I think Jimmy said, is June 20th.
Thank you for that.
Item number 10, new business, double asterisk, report of special committees and action thereon by the commission.
We had appointed an ad hoc pay and benefits committee some time back. They've worked very, very hard, and they've came up with recommendations. You'll see the notations, I think. Andy, did you get them all passed out to all the commissioners? So I don't know if you guys have read through them, but this ad hoc committee's work is done as far as they are concerned, and I would like to have a vote to approve their recommendations to be forwarded to Policy and Procedures Committee from here. And that committee, it would be dissolved as of tonight, with the acceptance of their recommendations. Okay, we have a motion by Commissioner Stubblefield, seconded by Commissioner Hirschman. Are there any discussion on this item? Okay.
So can you just clarify, we're accepting the recommendations, or we're accepting it to forward it to the committee?
Accepting to forward
So
to
this is
policy
not a
and
final vote
proceed.
on this
This is not
policy.
binding, but they're just making recommendations, and policy and procedures, they do the massaging and tweaking if needed. Any other comments and discussion on this item? Could we please vote?
It let us automatically vote. It automatically voted yes for me.
I can't hear you. Oh. Oh, oh, oh. Was everybody gonna vote yes anyway? That's what my screen says is yes. You can't do nothing?
I don't know, it's up to them to do it, I can't do it.
We definitely had Wi-Fi issues this week, and Ben Loman's been real helpful about trying to get it back up, but it was on the other end of the building, if I'm not mistaken, but.
Reed and Duncan.
Two more. It says yes. I can't do nothing but poke the screen.
Vote and then do it again.
Huh?
There you go.
Okay, never mind,
Got it.
she done it. 16 yes votes.
Thank you. 16 yes, the recommendations have been approved to be moved to policy and procedures.
Agenda item number 11, statements and announcements. A, next meeting, 6/25/24.
Does anybody have any statements or announcements for us tonight?
Mayor,
Mr.
the
Commissioner.
ad hoc water committee, right now, we're waiting on TDEC to get back with us to schedule a person to come talk to us. Also, the TDEC people will be down here hopefully to explain to us what legal matters we can do to talk to water companies that are not fulfilling their needs. Also, with the mayor election coming up in Manchester City, I know we probably won't move forward until that is settled. So we have not had a meeting. We will get back on the meetings and try to get the water. I'm still trying to get the J.E. Sarton done even as we speak. So that's one thing that trying to do through HWR and this committee is get those people water there. But we're trying to get a plan going for the whole county.
Thank you for that. Is there anything else? Anybody? Commissioner Duncan.
I think most everybody probably saw it in the paper on the front page where Lieutenant Thomas Gwynn, World War II and Korean War hero, twice captured in Korea, escaped both times, has medals all over the wall, all over the tables, and everywhere. Just celebrated his 105th birthday about a week ago.
Wow, thank you. Anybody else got anything, any more statements or announcements? Can we please vote to a motion to adjourn with a second? Can we do that electronically?
See ya.
We'll just do that. Everybody wants to leave, I'd say we're voted to adjourn, okay? The computers are just way slow. And thanks, everybody, for a smooth meeting, by the way.